HTKB, HTKB, HTKB. This is the house that Kamurai built. Time to get started. Rocketboom had on its channel yesterday a video about dark matter and whatnot in the universe. Go ahead and put it here. And so that certainly intrigued me. I watched the video and I was a little aghast about some of it. There's a severe problem with astrophysics. We honestly don't know what all is out there. For some reason, our scientists have problems admitting that to themselves because they're expected to know everything. So when they don't know something, I guess it looks bad on them anyways. Because of how light travels and how we observe things and the way we observe light, things are often not where they are when we're looking at them at such great distances. So there's all these unexplained shifts in orbits and shifts in celestial movements, and I don't know why they can't just admit that they don't know. Instead they have to come up with this term called dark energy or dark matter. Two very similar concepts. All it means is that it's unobserved. You can't see it for whatever reason. Because we believe that light travel is infinite, they expect to be able to see anything anywhere in the universe at some point. Now, we know that light isn't infinite. Beams of light dissipate over a distance. Starlight is not nearly as strong as sunlight because the stars are farther away. Sol's much closer, so the light's much brighter and more intense. So it's very possible that light dissipates into non-visible energy, or it simply spreads enough that the photons aren't dense enough for us to see it. These scientists and whatnot are trying to map out the universe and see how big it is and what's moving where, and ultimately they just can only see so far. And there's these different theories about how the universe is shaped based on all these movements and whatnot. I'm going to go ahead and go with the theory that we don't know. So it's probably something unexplained. But, moving logically, everything in nature is pretty much cyclical. So there's got to be some way for it to revolve around. So there's every single chance that energy and energy that comprises the matter of our universe are all stuck in some kind of cyclical fashion as well. If we combine that with the theory of the Big Bang, we now have a universe that is infinitely expanding from some kind of center point, which means that we're moving in 3 dimensions in a somewhat spherical manner. This eliminates the idea that the universe is flat, unless we take in the idea that there's a series of Mobius strips involved, so that whenever you go one way, you come out the other. Now, if that seems silly to you, it kind of is, but it's the only way to explain the universe being flat. Because if we can travel up, so where's the limit to where we can travel up in the universe? As far as we know, there isn't one. Now, if we continue on with the Mobius strip idea, and apply that to a 3-dimensional phase, we have what I call a Mobius sphere. This is honestly what I think. Not only is the universe expanding from a center point, it's converging to a center point at the same time. And more than likely the same center point. So as everything's expanding in the universe, it's all going towards the outer edge. Those outer edges are actually representationally the center of our new sphere of destination, so everything's moving towards it. I don't have a mathematical equation for it yet, because I honestly don't know if that math is available to us. But that's honestly my pictorial of what's happening. That leads into my theory on time and why time traveling backwards is never possible. What you can time travel forward if you can find a way to do it correctly. All time is a measure of entropy from the beginning of the universe forward. So that means from the start of the Big Bang being 0 and the convergence of the universe being end, we are moving on a timeline from 0 to end. At end, we recycle to 0 each time. So if you were able to break past that convergence, unless it required every bit of matter energy in the universe, which in case you would be included, and that wouldn't work. But if you could break past that, then you would go into a new timeline, which would be essentially that. All our present universe is a resultant of factors. Cause and effect. A happens to make B happens. It's a continual compound thing from the beginning of time. So if you already existed at 0, traveling fast enough, 4th dimensionally, to come back to that timeline's equivalent point of your timeline, then you would have traveled forward in time all the way to a new possibility, multiverse. Just not simultaneous multiverses, which is a little bit different. But if you had stopped before your equivalent time period, you could theoretically have visited a era of that time point that would be similar to your time area. And theoretically, you could go forward in time as much as you want. But going backwards in time would be tricky because you're always going back to a potentially new past. It means it may not be your past. Hopefully you enjoyed that little rant about the universe. And if you didn't, go watch Don't Unplug Me. Because if you don't like that, you can't possibly like anything. Christina Horner actually has a new video, Delete You. Go ahead and link to both those over here. I'm Kamurai. Have a nice day.